We are once again back for another CBC podcast. And of course, we got a pretty stacked show. We're going to be all over the place when it comes to the film industry and what's going on, mainly because there's been so much that's happening. So many dumb things have been said by multiple studios, believe it or not. And it's going to be fun to talk about, hopefully, for you guys. We'll see. But what we're here to talk about today is, of course, going to be a bunch of Sony, WB stuff all over the place. That's what I'm talking about. And I can't be here talking about it by myself, although there might be a way to get that done soon with AI advancements. I'm not sure. But before we get there, you guys can follow me at all the Linktree stuff. And of course, I am, as always, joined by Mitch.
I mean, didn't you used to do it with Sean?
No, that was totally Sean.
Okay, yeah, okay.
That was recording. It didn't really respond.
But yeah, Linktree, all the places. This first proper episode of Pro and Noob with Jared is going to be out by now, I assume, because this is coming out on a Sunday. So he's finally watched Neon Genesis.
Oh,
at least
good.
an episode of it. The transformation has begun. He's going
to be a true master. He has to watch all those or read all those comics as well.
He's got to get into the pachinko machines. That's the next step.
Up. I'm gonna text Jared, and he's just gonna be mini Ricardo.
Pretty much, yeah. Ricardo from Pennsylvania. That's or wherever the hell Jared's from.
I don't know if I can handle that. I can't. One Ricardo is enough. Jared Ricardo, that's too much. That's like you remember the fourth Alien film where they try to clone Sigourney Weaver and they all went wrong? That's what that's like. That's literally what that is.
So just get Ricardo to talk about Star Wars, and that's kind of.
Oh, okay. We need to stop this before it happens.
No, gotta let it carry on.
But with that in mind, we are also, as always, joined by Tristan, who, if you guys have been following the community tab, check out the videos I'm posting from him and Mitch on there, because believe it or not, the community tab actually is working for the time being. So props to YouTube.
Yeah. I've gotten a lot of videos. I also have some more reviews. I actually stocked up on some videos after a while. The last media actually did really, really well. But and I don't know why entitled PC gamers that PlayStation was
going to any other form of PC play.
Yeah, the ones that just play the one game and don't really bother nobody. But yeah, I don't know why they thought that PlayStation would change their viewpoint on how they're going to get money, where they stayed hacked from 5 years ago, where all their single player exclusives will be at least 2 to 3 years down the line, because their porting studio, their in-house porting studio, cannot do day and date at this time, and they're all mad.
I mean, they just that's just what's it where you get abused but you keep going back? Stockholm, right? Because PC games are always broken anyway when they come out. It's just they just don't want a fixed game.
That's really what I tune it to, is where they don't understand. The ones that don't really understand is that you want day and date. You do know what's going to happen, is that you're going to complain that it's broken day one, and why can't they fix it?
Yep. I mean, even games made by good developers who can day and date things still come out broken because your team is spread too thin. It's just let them get one.
There's so many different ways a person can have a PC.
Right.
You can't just make it for the one thing like a console. You have to make it for a ton.
Exactly.
Because Nexus, they only have 100 people, and they can only do one game at a time.
Yeah.
Well,
but you know what you should do is Google Trump Rule 34.
No, don't do that.
Have a good laugh.
No, don't
good
do
laugh.
Oh man. Oh yeah, we are recording this after the verdict. Yeah.
And for people who didn't know, Fox was talking about Taco Bell throughout the whole thing.
I'm
Nah,
shocked that Fox
they
was
literally-
ignoring.
They literally were because they're checking out all the other news sites. It was Trump is guilty. Fox, check out this Taco Bell menu, man. We're gonna lose a lot of stuff.
God.
Oh, I mean,
I would say, like, imagine having American like news networks like that, but then I remember Murdoch's tried to do one over here.
right.
It's just like, oh, we actually have that.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, no, it's wild. It's kind of been wild how it's gone. But
Mm.
if you really think about it, it's just it it's real crazy. Especially if you look at the news over here, man, it is.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
nuts.
a thing, but it's a thing. But I guess with that all out of the way, we do have 6 topics for you guys today, just on the main show. So that's pretty impressive, all things considered. Which means we should probably get to it in a timely manner. Which means we're actually going to jump into right away our first topic here, and that's after being rumored to join Marvel for a decade, Giancarlo Esposito confirmed that he has joined Marvel Studios, and reports have hit that he will appear first and foremost in Captain America 4, and then per him, after he appears there, he's going to be featured in a TV series. So, boy, this is a lot because he kind of did the Feige said not to do it, so I did it anyway, where he just
Yeah,
went
pretty
and
much.
talked,
Yeah.
and you know, I mean, I think detective work kind of gives us the obvious answer because he was like, "Well, I shot my thing earlier this year," and everybody's like, "Well, Captain America." Like that's the
Yeah,
only thing,
yeah.
right? That's coming out next year. That's
Unless it's Thunderbolts.
true. And then, he's going to be appearing in a TV show following. Most people believe it's Daredevil Born Again, which would make sense, I guess.
Possibly, yeah.
They were shooting both at the same time, so that works.
Unless he's getting his own series.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, we don't know because the way he worded it was interesting, right? Like, if you read it, you're like, it could be his own series or it could be guesting in a series. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Or could be both.
Yeah.
Who knows at this point?
Yeah. So I'll go to Tristan first. What is your take on all this? What he's saying, and
If this man says do, kick him.
I honestly don't really know, I don't really know who he could actually be. Because I was like racking my brain yesterday when I saw this that he was going to be in the TV show and most likely Captain America. So I was, because at first I saw, I did see some people were trying to see who he was, and a couple did say Doom, but I was like, nah, he's probably not that. I'm trying to think, but there's nothing really coming up unless that one was that fan casting that they wanted him as was it Charles Xavier that they wanted him as?
Oh,
But
yeah.
he said he's not doing that.
Yeah. He says it's unexpected, so.
What if that's just his way of being like, yeah, I'm actually just Charles?
Yeah, it is unexpected because I'm a new version of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I really can't think of another character that they would introduce into Captain America 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like he can't just be a random politician then.
Yeah.
No.
Which if it was just Captain America 4, I'd be like, yeah, he's just going to be like a random politician again.
Right.
But getting a series or being in a series, like, I don't know. Maybe they got absolutely crazy with it, and even though I think he's younger, he's going to be like Nick Fury Senior.
Multiverse Nick Fury.
Yeah, why not?
Huh?
He's like the dude on the moon, that version of Nick Fury.
Yeah. Huh. The way I was kind of looking at this and just trying to, like wrap my head around what he said and what he's hinting at, it sounds like it's going to be a role that's not just, oh, here I am 2 times, I show up and then I'm gone. It sounds like there's more to it than that. Definitely seems like he's probably going to play a villain, I would assume. Typecasting.
I mean, I think villain's the obvious one because
Yeah,
it's what he always plays, right? But I part of me is really hoping he's not.
Same.
I mean, Charles is a villain to a certain X-Men.
He is.
True, yeah.
Yeah. Like
All mutants are villains. In fairness, there's not a single good one.
after what they did to the Inhumans, I agree.
Exactly, yeah.
Mutie
feels, goddammit.
See, like the mutants went to the moon, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna attack here. Just go to this one part near Eldrac and stand there, and we're gonna not attack that." And then they bombed Eldrac as well. See, I'm making social commentary here related to the X-Men. Can anybody understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, the moon was given to the X-Men by the American government.
Yes. Thunderbolt Ross. That's how the film ends. He's just like, "Here's mutants. We're sending them to the moon." And Anson Mounts and Black Bolt's like, "What?" And then everything just blows up.
Here's the Mayanist agenda.
He's gonna play a villain. I don't know who. Not a lot of people can figure it out. There was rumors, and obviously it was on point because if you look at the concept art for Spider-Man Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, you're like, "Oh yeah, that Norman Osborn is 100% Giancarlo Esposito." And it's like,
I mean, I would be so down to have him as Norman.
Yeah, same. Yep,
so down.
Yeah.
If not Norman, why not make him Duck Ark?
Right.
He'd literally be the best choice for either one.
Yeah.
Then you get Giancarlo Esposito Spider-Man eventually because we've got the Superior. That'd be crazy.
Yeah. I'm all for that. So I guess we're gonna know soon enough, I suppose. So
I say Norman, I think makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Why else would he be Captain America and then a TV series, right? Like big businessman.
And like I know, they said, "Hey, we're not doing villains that were done before." But then, because of Sony's mandate for multiverse, they had to go to that and use villains literally from the other films. So it's like, well, I guess that's kind of out that now, right? Like, it still sells, so why not give us that? So if it happens, sure, we'll see, right? We shall see.
I say I'm not going to get attached to any idea because I haven't really even got my own one. But
exactly,
I'll be, as long as it's not just a cheap throwaway role and we're not wasting him, I'll be fine.
Agreed. With that out of the way, let's talk about the summer. Well, actually, just talk about in general the 2024 box office season because believe it or not, now the industry is literally looking at Deadpool saying, "Can Deadpool save 2024?" And
it's
now
like we have this every year.
And how funny is it because Marvel films are killing the industry, less of them. Okay, you're getting one real Marvel film this year. No, we need more Marvel. Can it save the year? Because year over year, the biggest films that would make the most money were MCU films. And what we're looking at now, and I looked at some analysts and I looked at some the things you can pay for or things that get handed to you by people, just people I know. And I've talked about numbers before, and you can see some of these, they're talking about them in the industry, like Deadline, for example, is talking about some of this stuff. Essentially, the consensus is we need to get away from $1 billion is what you need to make. And I think we've been saying this for a year or more now.
It's been years. Like,
yeah,
$1 billion should never have been the benchmark.
Like, here's the thing: before, 400 to 500 million used to be, oh my god, you're a blockbuster box office hit. Any more than that, you were rare, right?
I'll say now 450 million was guaranteed sequel territory.
Yeah.
Now you get stuff like Shang-Chi and Eternals hitting roughly near that. And where's their sequels and stuff?
You get Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness making 887 million or something like that, and it's considered a bomb. A bomb!
Yeah.
But it's
when they spend like 500 million on these movies, it's
true.
Movies and AAA games are having the exact same problem, and no one's talking about that.
Yeah.
You don't like people are saying having the same conversation for both, but no one's correlating that it's a problem that's shared. Right? these movies don't need to cost that much.
No, they don't. And like
The new monkey movie that came out, whatever the hell it's called, I don't know. I don't do monkeys. Costs like half of
Out of context, it sounds bad.
I mean, if you take that bad, then that's your dirty monkey.
Oh man,
got monkeys on the brain. Good damn.
I'm trying to think of what monkey movie you're talking about, and all I can think
There's
of
like
is
one monkey movie that came out like
it's that reboot of the Planet of the Apes movie.
It's technically a sequel.
Okay, I thought you were talking about like Godzilla versus Kong. Still, I'm like, what?
That's the King movie.
That did make money, but that's not the movie they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, that movie came out. Well, I couldn't remember what it's called, so I just called it the monkey movie. Because there's 1,000 of them. They all have the same name, but it's a compound sentence at each time.
And like to take this conversation to what we were talking about expectations. Mad Max Fury Road made under $400 million. Everywhere you look, people are like, that was the biggest hit of the year. Fury Road, it dominated. No, it didn't. So they make Furiosa, they spend more on it. And guess what? Mad Max is officially dead. It's a dead brand. It's never happening again.
I mean, it was dead with Fury Road, let's be honest.
It was, because, hey, it didn't make a lot of money.
And for people who are getting mad at Mitch in the comments, it's Kingdom of Planet of the Apes.
That's what it is. I haven't seen it.
That title's way too short to be the one that came out.
It is.
There needs to be at least 3 more and in there somewhere.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Yeah.
What came out in 2015 alongside
a lot of movies, including a big Avengers film that was a failure. Yeah, right?
Yeah, biggest movie of the year, Mad Max.
It was like box office is currently in its shambles form, and can Deadpool save it? Well, guess what? If Deadpool doesn't make $1 billion,
which I don't think is gonna,
I think
still stand by that.
Yeah, I'm thinking like close to 900 to $1 billion, but that's it. Like I don't think it does, Bill.
No.
Yeah, it feels. Yeah, it kind of feels like 800 to 900 at most, if it even makes that.
Yeah,
so I think it'd be lucky to hit that. Yeah, but stuff costs too much. Like there's a whole thing that isn't like Walmart. I'm sick of Walmart. Then that's Final Fantasy in the brain. Like Walmart, Target, and someone else being like, "Oh yeah, we're putting our prices down because we gouged too much."
Yeah,
please come back.
Yes, essentially.
I wish they'd do that over here. Like, goddamn. But yeah, stuff just costs too much to have that same thing, and until that all goes down, as we're back to like 6 years ago, it's not gonna go back up.
Yeah,
because it's like going to the movies is an ordeal now. It's not even like, oh, I'm gonna spend like 25 or 30 at most, and whatever good old time. No, you're gonna be spending upwards to like 60 to 80 depending on who's with you,
and that's if you don't want the goddamn trashy popcorn bucket that people decided is the thing you need.
Especially like for the Deadpool and Wolverine bucket is like, it's not really funny because like
no, because it's intentional.
Yeah.
They went out and tried to make a funny popcorn bucket, and it's the most generic, mundane idea they could have done. Like you clearly made like a fleshlight Wolverine. You didn't even give it like the lips.
And
like, why not have the sextile lip on it?
And like the thing with it is, like, you just know that exists, so every Deadpool cosplayer can walk around with it attached, like they do the boys, the
Dick in the Box.
It's like that's what it's made for. And it's like, wow, low hanging fruit with that. But make no mistake about it, it's gonna sell out. So like it's gonna help theaters, right? Like
I really hope it doesn't.
Same.
He's like, no, have the movie do good. That popcorn bucket should it deserves to be like the ET landfill, right? Like, just send them all away. People are saying there's a popcorn bucket won. No, Dune's won. Marvel showed up with the spoon. Like Dune won.
No, that was lame to say the least. So I don't know. Like looking at the summer this year, what's going to be the biggest box office hit? Probably Deadpool versus Wolverine, or Deadpool and Wolverine.
How much is Dune made?
500 something, I think.
I assume Deadpool and Wolverine is going to make more than that.
Dune to box office. Let's look at this. Oh, never mind. That's internationally close to 500. 711. Woo!
Oh, I think it's going to be close then.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be very close.
Yeah.
But it doesn't help as well. You have stuff, how much did they push The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling? That movie was advertised everywhere.
Oh
They
my
pulled it in
God.
2 weeks. A movie can't make money if you're pulling it in 2 weeks.
And like, nothing against that film because I legitimately loved Fall Guy. I thought it was a great film, amazing action. Like everybody put their best foot forward to show you like amazing choreography and all that, which is what the film is about, right?
Yeah.
But that film screams of you were pushing for summer blockbuster billion-dollar hit you thought you were going to have. What you should have been aiming for is 200 million is going to make us happy.
Yeah.
But no.
Well, with that movie is good choreography, but it's kind of sad because I think the budget was around like 125 to 150.
Yeah, I'm looking at, and it's made 147.
Oh, Christ. It could have made more than that if you left it in at least another week, but no, you had to pull it after 2. Because we have to get it on streaming, so we haven't got to pay residuals or anyone else.
And like, what gets me is like David Leitch, who directed the film, from John Wick to Atomic Blonde, and Atomic Blonde is a film dude, that film to me is amazing. Like he did Deadpool 2 and Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, one of the better Fast and Furious because it's just so dumb. He did Nobody, Bullet Train. Like the dude has a pedigree to him, but again, if you look at everything I just listed, it's perpetual.
They're not big numbers.
Exactly. And perpetual budget increases, but they don't make their money back. Like, it's.
We just go back to the budgeting problem and why people should look at the Monkey movie to realize you haven't got to spend that much.
I wish somebody could sit Kevin Feige down and be like, remember your humble beginnings where Captain America and Thor cost 130 million and they're legitimately great movies? How about you go back to that and not reshooting and re-CGing the entire film 6 months before release that triples the budget? Like, that's part of the problem.
Someone's probably trying to, but they can't get through the rotating door of Blade Writers.
Oh, my heart, my soul. God damn it.
Yeah,
you went straight for my jugular.
Just too many people. Like half of Hollywood's going in and out of that man's office.
You know, like that Abe Simpson walks in, puts the hat, grabs and walks out. It's that, but just mirror that and like duplicate it 1,000 times, and that's Feige's office with Blade.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, that's bad. I hate it. I hate it in this world.
That's another problem. How is Blade? He's a vampire man. He just kills vampire. How is that movie struggling to get out the door?
The fact that Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan agreed to cast the entire thing, started shooting, and will have shot their vampire film in less time than the last rewrite. What is happening? Like, I don't care what happens. Just get rid of everybody. Be like, hey, Coogler, can we just buy this off you and make this Blade? Like, I don't care anymore.
Just gonna CGI Ali's face onto Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, look. I mean, they did it with The Rock for Black Adam, apparently. So why not?
God.
Egomaniac at his best. Oh man!
What a time!
Hollywood is in shambles.
The big studio heads are. Yeah, I think people making movies are fine, but
yeah, it's Jover for more than just one person. Jover for all of them. All of them. So
I think it's Jover for most people, to be fair.
Yeah. Any closing comments on this before we move on from disastrous box office and film industry?
I mean, I'm not looking forward to the day there's no movies, but yeah, we're not far off having no industry because white boys need money.
Agreed. But hey, speaking of needing money, you know who's going to need money and goods? The Black Cat, because she's a thief and she steals stuff, and she might be in Spider-Man 4 as
thief in this economy. That's just mean.
Yeah,
she's just trying to survive, man. Like, come on.
But hey, it might be Sydney Sweeney doing it, so I don't know. It's fixing the wrong that Madam Web did, I guess.
I'm shocked that Sydney Sweeney's up for a role like Black Cat.
Same. I don't
I'm
make
stunned.
any. Yeah,
I'd love to know what drew their attention for her for that.
a
character.
correlation cannot be made. You know,
I mean, I'm sure there's a reason or two, but I just can't see it right now.
it's a little titillating. You know, it's right there, but I can't figure it out. So I'll ponder this.
Yeah, I'll ponder my orbs and find out. Well,
I like how this podcast has slowly digressed to CBC circa 2013. It's just,
I mean,
There we
everything old
are.
is new again, right? It has to happen.
it's
at some
true.
point.
It's true. So yeah, apparently Disney, Marvel Studios specifically, has been in talks with Sydney Sweeney, and by all accounts, they want her to appear as Felicia Hardy, Black Cat in Spider-Man 4, either as a minor villain to set something up or one of the main villains. We don't know the full extent of it. I mean, the casting choice is on point.
I say I
Right.
love Sydney Sweeney.
I've only seen her in two things, and one of those is Madam Web, so I'm not going to comment on her
Was
skills.
the other one Euphoria by chance?
It was not.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't
say she
remember
good
what
in
it was.
Euphoria.
I hear about that, but yeah, I'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
No, I think she's just apart from the two very obvious assets. I think she's a good actress. I think she can nail Felicia. So
I mean, Peter certainly would. So what do you know?
is he still a minor? We can't do the Ultimates thing, can we, in the MCU?
No.
I mean, that's
We
really
can't do.
unfortunate.
We can't do that for a lot of reasons these days.
I mean, yeah, but it was a funny moment.
Yeah, it was. It'll be interesting to see how they decide to tackle Spider-Man 4, because from what we're hearing, it's like they're still battling over two versions of the film, and there has
I'm
been.
shocked that Marvel and Sony are struggling to
I know.
reach a movie conclusion.
Now, I do want to bring this up and ask Tristan specifically, because there has been, again, rumblings that they're trying to get Miles, on film, and some have suggested, hey, he could appear in Spider-Man 4, because there is that tease at the end of No Way Home in the international version where it's like you hear Miles's family, you hear specifically.
I think it was in Latin.
Yeah,
Latin
Yeah,
dubs.
because
where-
they like the isn't it the subtitle people spotted it with?
Yep.
Yeah,
It
it's
has
during
his
the
mum or something.
Yeah, no, it was during the end with Peter going into his apartment, and you hear some other people talking,
Yeah.
and with the subtitles, it's Rio, and then they're talking.
Yeah.
So.
Right. So, how would you feel about if they add Black Cat and all these other multiverse things, and then they're also tossing in Miles on top of this?
I would think that Sony Pictures needs to probably have Marvel tell them that no, this is a bad idea. If this is their
Say, slow your damn roll.
Yeah, if this is their way of transitioning from Peter to Miles, and they're just shoving anything and everything in there to make sure that they have a continuation of that of the money coming in, because it doesn't look like they want to go back to I guess not grounded, but more street level superheroing for Spider-Man, and that unfortunately Miles does the same, but they are equating him to more of a multiverse character when he's never been that for most of his career. It's just recently he's been he's been associated with the multiverse.
Right.
I mean, you say he hasn't been, but when did Miles come out? 2011?
Yeah,
2011, 2012, yeah.
Secret Wars was 2015.
Yeah,
He's been a multiverse. Well, you could say because he was in the Ultimates. He was.
I was gonna say
he was always a multiverse character, but he's been associated with the multiverse for far longer than he hasn't been.
I think the Spider-Verse thing changed perception, because it's like it's one thing when he jumped in.
It's mostly the Spider-Verse thing, because it was just like a one-off, and they don't even like register or even acknowledge it for a couple more years, and then it comes back up, and then that's when the Spider-Verse stuff started to take over.
Which is unfortunate. I preferred like 6-1 or 16-10 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just what it is with Sony, because they want to keep that cash flow coming in because they need to make that $1 billion.
Now, what if Sydney Sweeney's playing Miles?
Oh no!
Next level casting.
On par with Scarlett Johansson Ghost in the Shell.
Like, because I don't know what like Sony Pictures is trying to do, because you forget that Kraven's supposed to be coming out this Christmas, I think, if I remember.
Yeah, correctly. For repeat viewing, because it's going to be $1 billion hit.
Yeah, because everyone's going to watch that movie again and again and again and again and again. Maybe Trump will watch it 34 times.
but yeah, if this is all true, then I don't really know what. Like, I don't know who Spider-Man 4 is actually going to be for, unless if it's like totally just multiverse stuff.
It'll be, if Miles is going to be in the movie, he's going to be at the end. He's not going to have a massive role. He'll be at the end. Multiverse stuff, I mean, you can
have
drag
like
someone in from the multiverse and just have it be like a little thing, I guess.
Yeah, but from what like quote unquote leakers have been saying, it's gonna be like full on multiverse stuff.
Yeah, but leakers exaggerate everything, right?
Yeah, but with Sony, you never know. It could just be the whole plot point just got leaked.
Oh, it's true. It's true, but I think, if we say bring in a Scorpion, hypothetically, from a different reality, and that Scorpion's just playing the role of Scorpion, well, that Scorpion usually plays in the movie, then it's multiverse and it's ground level at the same time.
Yeah, I definitely suspect whatever this film is, it's going to be a giant, like, mess of everything that Sony wants to just get it off the ground.
Absolutely,
like, They're going to like throw in a El Muerto cameo in there just to make sure. It's like, yeah, we need this.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. My brain went kind of racist there. You said that, and I went El Mayimbe. I was like, we can have like a spider. It's like he's shouting Planet Hulk from the rooftop. I actually forgot that there is a character with that name. I was like,
who's the Spawn bootleg? Darkhorn? They're still
Night Watch.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Like I'll take sure, whatever you talk. It's the one character whose name I can never remember, but maybe you know what? Sony work out a deal with Todd and amalgam the two characters into a Spider-Man film.
I mean, why do that? Night Watch is already a Spider-Man villain. It's right there.
Yeah, just make him Spawn now.
Also, if we can get a Night Watch anything before that Spawn reboot happens, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Well, we'll
like
see
the Reverse Blade with Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah. You know what? We're going to move off this Spidey talk in general, because we got to talk about other dumb decisions. And hey, speaking of dumb things, let's talk about WB Discovery. So in the latest round of talking to Wall Street and investors and talking about how when WB was acquired by Discovery, they inherited $50 billion worth of debt.
Nice.
In the 2 years since then, because this month marked 2 years, they've only been able to pay off $15 billion by canceling things and writing things off and making small profits. They got $35 billion to go, and they believe it's going to slow down. So David Zaslav very simply said, we are looking for M&A, merger and acquisition opportunities. And he said in the next year to 3 max, we are either merging with somebody else for our survival, or I am putting us up for acquisition, and both start now. So they're up for sale again. He just put the word out that, hey, either merge with us, we're looking for partners, we need to offset this, or come buy us out. One or the other is happening. And talk about another setback.
So it's right on time, right?
This is that Dr. Manhattan meme.
It's
Just
2017. WB's up for sale.
it's the same thing. It's 2019. WB has shifted priorities, and a new buyer has entered. Oh no, 2021 again. It's like it keeps happening. And recently, like Zaslav, they lost the NBA license. Like
Yeah.
Oh, no, that one was hilarious when people found out how it happened. It was basically, he said, "We don't need basketball." That's literally what he said. And everyone's like, "What do you mean you don't need basketball?" And then you see that like NBC and all these other, and like, I think it was like, and Amazon were like going into like a bidding war up to like 2.5 billion because they see the profit there.
How long has WB had the NBA? It's like as long as I can remember, honestly.
For TNT specifically, it was since I think like the late 1980s, early 90s.
Yeah, like
that's crazy.
Because like I remember watching wrestling in the 90s on TNT, and they would do crossover with basketball stars because again, like WB has really lost its way. And like when you get rid of a major sport that still pulls in views and money because you can't afford to pay the rights, and you need to get rid of it, like it's telling about the future of your company. Like it's
because I think I think this oncoming season is the last like season for that for that show on TNT, because I think WB needed I think 2 points, like needed either to equate to 2.7 billion to keep the rights for certain games and stuff. But I guess as of them said that they didn't need it, and this is what's going to happen.
You mentioned games, and I'm glad you mentioned that because another part of this is WB Games, and reportedly Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League cost upwards of north of 250 million to make.
Yep, and that's it's not on the development side's fault. It's the it's all the all the shareholders saying that they needed a games as a service game when this particular Suicide Squad game was not originally supposed to be.
And again, this was the fourth iteration of that video game. That's like the other iterations, and they had almost completed. They were doing voice work for the Damian Wayne Batman game, and then just straight up canceled it, like deep in post production. Like, what do you? Ooh.
Aren't voices done first?
Yeah, for the most part, if they have everything squared away, then voice work would be one of the first ones done.
The thing with that game was they were reusing a lot of assets and had a lot already built out from another canceled project, which was the Batman.
I mean, that makes sense. People who fault developers for reusing assets are just dumb.
Yeah, you're dumb.
It's like, if I can, it's like if I can have the total work I need to do, I'm gonna do it.
It's like opening like Blender or something, being like, no, I can't use this circle. I got to use a square. I have to make this square myself. I can't just reuse it. What's you doing?
But it's just
WB
wild. Yeah, it's wild with they're saying that's happening. Everything's all good, and you check it out. It's like, no, they're canceling a lot of stuff that you didn't need to do.
Imagine canceling like video games when they're the biggest industry on the planet.
Well, they cancel it because it's not going to make projections of what they want it to do.
Maybe make a game that makes projection.
Right.
Listen to people on the internet. Don't actually make a live service game because that bubble popped a year ago.
Well, it's when they say, "Oh, these are the projections. It's pretty good," and goes, "But what about this game?" That's a games as a service game. They're ranking that in because they've been established. But why can't you turn this game or make this game into that? And that's where the conflict comes. Is like they want that, but they don't know how all the development time goes into making that. They just want
you see your entire studio. Yeah. They have to work on this game. You can't split the teams. The entire thing.
Think about this, right? WB is doing all this. They're shutting down divisions. They're setting unrealistic expectations, right? And they've already committed to an entire shared universe that's shooting 2 projects. Another 2 are starting by the end of the year. James Gunn is tied up with it in the middle of a sale that's just announced that they want to happen. I mean, the walls are closing in. Everything's crumbling down around the DCU before it's even started.
Yeah.
Like,
DC can literally not catch a break.
not at all. It's so sad. It is caught
Like
in the
before,
middle
it
of
was
the worst.
self-inflicted, right? Because you had them just keep banking on Snyder. It's like, look, you're just making it worse.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're actively trying, and nothing's going right. Well, I say nothing's going right. Like, no matter what they do, people are picking it apart. It's just like, Christ, like, come on. It's like let them breathe. I know it's
kind of like crazy how we got here. Not surprising because it's WB, but again, I'm assuming since he just put the word out again on Wall Street, talking to a bunch of investors that this is happening. If things are already in motion, I would not be surprised if there was already some preliminary talks because we know WB was in talks with Paramount, but Sony and the Apollo Group made that agreement and moved right in with a offer that WB can't afford it because they have no money. What are they going to do? Say, hey, we'll offer you $40 billion, and it'll just stack debt, and then we'll both be dead in 2 years. Like that's
so. Hey, we have DC. What's that show that Ricardo watches on HBO?
I don't know. Weebs in the City or something.
There was that reality. It had like a universe on it. I can't think what it's called.
MILF Manor.
I can't. I
bet you Ricardo watches MILF Manor. I'm gonna pin that on him.
Is MILF Manor actually a thing?
It is.
I don't even know why I asked that. Of course, it's a damn thing.
Of course, it's a thing, right? Yeah.
Capitalism it's got to be a thing, right?
Yep.
I want to say it was like 40 Day Fiance universe or something like that.
Oh my god, yes, they are now. Yeah, that's gonna save everything.
I mean, that was one of their big title card shows. So.
Well, did you see Zaslav also said he's like, hey, we're also gonna make sure that Max/HBO finally gets to other territories. So I looked it up. I'm like, how is this available in only like 4 countries? Yeah. How?
Like, they only did a deal with Sky like last year to have a bunch of shows on Sky Atlantic and stuff like that. Like they have been doing. Like, why? No one's gonna get it now.
This company's in shambles. Actual shambles.
Yeah, actual shambles.
Yeah.
Well, Feige is in this company right now. That's how much shambles they are.
I believe it. I believe it.
When someone says they're in the shambles, they're talking about WB.
I'll take it. I will take that. But you know what's getting out of the shambles with almost 4 years of, hey, what's going on with this film? That's Spider-Man 4 because they are apparently closing in on directors and the directors of Batgirl and, well, Batgirl didn't come out, but the directors of Miss Marvel are very far along in the talks apparently. And it was interesting during the Bad Boys premiere press tour, they were straight up asked about it. And their response was the same as when they were asked about the rumors that they're directing Batgirl and Miss Marvel. Instead of deflecting it or anything, they said, can't comment and walked away. So they might have shown their hand with that one. So,
Say the irony that can't comment is just an outright yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Honestly,
just say no, just lie.
Right? Like you can lie, but I get it. They don't want to, and like,
no.
The thing with this for me is if they get them, we saw with Miss Marvel, they can handle style.
Yeah.
This could be something. And
part of me is like, what a waste for like using them on Peter Parker. Like they'd be great for Miles.
Yeah, 100%. That was my thought as well. Yep.
Sure, maybe this means we're probably going to get Kamala in Spider-Man 4 as well, which I mean makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
But man, they've been so good for Miles, not Peter.
Yeah, but
I guess
even if they get them for Peter, though, you could see how it's a completely different tone and style than John Watts. And I'm like, you know what? If you want to make it different, this is it. Like, it would essentially be Derrickson compared to Sam Raimi. It's like
Pretty
if
much.
you watch Doctor
I'm not
Strange
going to
1 and 2,
complain if they are
exactly.
doing it. No, I'm not. Will not complain one bit. But like the Supergirl director, probably should have been for Miles.
Yeah.
Should have been a
Yeah.
woman. Should have been for Miles. It's literally right there. But
Mhm.
I won't complain. I'm
So,
sure that.
I mean, along with their names, another 3 names that have popped up are very interesting because Justin Lin and James Wan, who are both known for Fast and Furious as well, and Aquaman. So it's like,
I'll say keep. Which one did Aquaman?
James Wan.
Yeah, keep him the hell away.
I'm gonna agree with that.
I haven't seen anything else he's done apart from Aquaman. But
here's what needs to
that
happen with
can't be.
James Wan. He was working with Sony a decade ago on the Robotech Macross live action adaptation. Please go do that because not that I hate him. I think he's a phenomenal director, but
I mean,
when
giving him
Yeah.
the Robotech movie is a bit of a I hate you.
Well, also he loves that franchise though. That's the thing. Like,
Yeah, but you're literally gonna have him make a movie that's gonna come out and make $6.
that's true because the brand has been dead over here because of the Harmony Gold dispute, and that's a long thing I don't want to get into on this podcast.
Well, you're gonna have to. Well, he's done a lot of stuff. Like he did. Like you said, he did Aquaman. He did the Aquaman series. He also did a couple of the Saw movies, and The Conjuring 2.
I mean, James Wan is his production company. He does some great stuff. Like he has a vision, and if you want something done cheap, this the man for your job. Like this is it. You just hire him. But
as a director, no thanks.
Yeah, I don't want him on Spider-Man.
Hard pass, yeah.
Yeah.
Justin Lin, though, he was the Shang-Chi guy, wasn't he?
No, Justin Lin is also Fast and Furious. What else did Justin Lin do? I can't remember off the top of my head right now. Fake fan.
No, it was Daniel. It was
Dustin
Kraven,
Daniel
wasn't
who
it?
did. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so Justin Lin is Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. That's his best film.
Banger. It's the best Fast and Furious film.
Imagine Spider-Man drifting while swinging against the DK.
Yeah,
$1 billion box office easily.
Yeah.
Okay, he's also directed
in the background, like
True Detective, Community. Honestly, Justin Lin, that's not a bad idea.
Honestly, I'm fine with that.
He also did Fast 9, Fast
10.
We haven't got to mention everything. We're perfectly fine with Tokyo Drift. No.
He did Star Trek Beyond, which is the best of the J.J. Abrams
movie. Right?
I mean, it's the best of the terrible J.J. Abrams trilogy, so take it for
no
what
one
it's worth.
cares about Star Trek.
Not the movies. They're terrible.
That's what I'm talking about. Before that, the TV show guys come at me.
Aren't they rebooting that anyway?
Oh, they reboot Star Trek like every 6 months.
Dude, Star Trek is. I swear to God, I turn on Paramount Plus and there's 4 new Star Trek seasons of something I'm behind on. I'm like, how? How are you producing these so fast? Not that it's bad, but you know.
Yet we still can't get a good Halo series.
Don't worry, when Sony puts it out, it'll be something.
As long as we get Master Chief Venom, then yeah, I'll be fine.
Yeah. When I get out of here, there's gonna be blood.
Don't do that.
It's gonna be amazing. This is the type of this is what I'm saying. You know what? Actually, this is a perfect segue to our final topic because Sony stated, Tom Rothman, straight from his very own lips, we're starting to use AI to make movies.
What was the strike for? I'm really confused what the whole of last year was about. Why did they spend months and then suddenly the studios, not even a year later, are like, we're going to do everything, by the way?
Yeah, it's because the studios found a loophole that if they can get them to sign off on it, then it's okay.
I think it's because the union leaders are actually, I'm not even going to say the word I was going to say because I don't want to say it, but they're dumb as fuck. No. Now, how much did these union leaders get paid? Is what I want to know. There's no way.
It's obviously something because like from what I've seen, it's usually it's like they have to sign off on this, and I'm like, why would anyone
Yeah,
sign
but
off
they're
on
not
this?
gonna.
Yeah.
There's no way they're gonna do it.
And even
I
then,
need this AI bubble to burst, just like the NFT bubble did.
well, technically, it's already bursting, because from what people have been saying is that to have all like the power to actually run these algorithms, it's not sustainable. So
I mean, that was the same with NFTs, but they still tried pushing it.
I know they still try to, but it's like it's gonna be dying down like soonish.
I hope so.
But even then, with what they're trying to do, I've seen some people try and make a movie or a short with just AI, and
They look awful.
It's awful and off-putting is what
But
it is,
see,
because you know it's not.
Sony's got an advantage here, right? Because they can be like, hey, if we make symbiote fight symbiote with AI, there's just random tendrils that don't make sense and extra fingers. You're like, yeah, but that's a symbiote. So
I mean,
Rothman is actually using big brain energy right now, which is kind of
yeah,
shocking. I don't like it, but he's using
No.
big brain energy.
I think he's using the big chip energy.
Oh, true.
The big lead.
The big lead. Just watch. He's going to be like, and for my next major announcement, we're bringing in all the producers of X-Men Origins to produce the next Spider-Man entry. It's going to be gold.
He's going to fly to Israel to get Bryan Singer back. So that's not even a joke. Like, if you don't know, Singer is a massive Zionist over him.
I can't wait for Venom versus Spider Diddler. That's going to be the film of the century. It's going to be amazing. I'm glad that like Sony at least is admitting publicly that they're stupid. Like it's a big move for them, to just come out publicly and be like, look, we're going to make the dumbest decision, right? So here you go. And
also, part of me honestly thought it was going to be WB first.
Same.
Because they said this like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to use computers to write scripts. But okay. But now 5 years later, it's the same thing. It's just now it's not computers, it's AI.
Right.
It's just like, okay.
I mean, I'm still convinced, and there is now proof, and I went back and I watched the scene. So there's a scene in Madam Web, and I remember specifically during the film, Shay looked at me and I leaned in. I was like, notice how the voiceover is always from the back, and when they show the front of the actors, like the villain in his lair, there's weird shadowing and his mouth is moving weirdly.
Yeah, there's one weird shot of him.
Yeah, it is like, clear as day. They used AI and try to shift things around. And like the ADR at points in that film is not human ADR. Like I can't explain how unnatural it sounds.
Not that I've seen it, but I would be surprised.
It is. Yeah, I'm convinced they already tried it, and they're like, "Well, Madam Web was a beta prototype, so we'll get this better."
I just can't wait for the day that people stop talking about AI.
Yeah, it ain't. I have a feeling this cat out of the bag. I don't think it's going back in. Unfortunately,
I think it's all the crypto bro stuff in it, right?
Of course.
I think it will eventually. I mean, just look at Google, right? Cockroaches can live in the penis. It's very common, according to XYZ. This is the future we're heading towards. But
things are getting weird. Honestly, the way I'm looking at this is Sony will try. There's going to be backlash, just like a couple years ago when I think it was WB that announced, they're like, hey, we're buying licenses to dead actors from their estates because we're just going to bring dead actors back. And everybody was like, what? Say that again? They're like, we're not going to say that again. Sorry. They're like, okay.
The thing with AI, this is what I don't understand. People will go watch a movie and absolutely trash on the CGI where it doesn't need to be trashed on. Like, you're over-exaggerating, right? But then the same people will look at an AI image or GIF or whatever and be like, oh, look how far along it's come, and it hasn't changed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like every new AI video that comes out, it's like, oh, look how far it's come. It's so scary. It's like it hasn't changed. There's nothing different about it. There's still zero life
Yeah.
in anything AI's ever put out.
Yeah, it doesn't understand it, right? So like
Nothing moves how anything would move.
like I kind of understand using AI in some aspects, but I'm not talking mass production or anything. I'm talking like the genius use of AI is you see some of these like video game fan projects of people upscaling backgrounds of like old Resident Evil games, dropping that into AI and then manually fixing things by being like, no, this was wrong. Fix this to look like a cup. I've literally seen people do that.
AI is great. Like, I
Yeah,
saw
like
this like one of the random Facebook groups. Facebook shows you in your feed, even though you're not following. Was that, hey, I have this like Dragon Ball Z image from 2003.
exactly.
It's tiny, it's pixelated as hell. Can anyone do anything?
Yep.
And someone's like, I used AI to upscale it and it looks great. It's like, you
Like-
know what? That's fine. That's
And, like,
totally
Exactly. Like I'm playing replaying the original Resident Evil 3 on PS1. A resolution of 320 times 240. I have it blown up to my 82-inch TV in the living room. Guess how terrible that looks? But
horrendous.
somebody's replaced every single texture of the background and repackaged it into a emulator that's just literally install and go. And they made all the backgrounds like 2 to 4K and they are crisp and clean. And I'm like, you know what? This is what I would use it for. Things like this make sense. But
when it's a tool to use, yeah.
yeah.
When it's your entire thing, no.
Exactly.
No.
It's
Too far. You know, if
going-
someone wants to make like a reference for something, but there's no reference about, like, hey, I just use AI to make this reference, and I'm gonna make my thing using that.
Mhm.
Fine. Totally fine.
It's
Just making the thing from AI? No.
Well, be careful about the reference because sometimes you'll get some body horror creature because they had
That's why it's just a reference. They make the thing from that, you know.
That's why
Like,
Resident Evil.
I can clearly see we're not supposed to have 6 hands coming out of one finger. Not Doctor Strange. I'll get rid of this bit.
Oh my god, it just hit me. Sony saying this, they're literally gonna use it for the next Resident Evil film.
No.
What, as the bad guy or just
No,
actually...
or just to write to figure out the plot. And they're gonna be like, okay, just make Resident Evil 4, but add in all these random things from other Resident Evils.
It's gonna be called Resident Evil Chat GTP. Chat GTP.
Umbrella GPT?
Yeah.
Oh,
I know,
generic.
it's very fitting that humanity as a whole has a semblance of Skynet and it's actually trash.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Anything. It's like, you know what? That is the human race as a whole. That is, yeah. That's what we deserve.
Again, Dr. Manhattan. That's where we're at.
Is time is a circle.
It's a flat circle as well.
Everything is just going backwards in the worst way. And to me, the thing I look at with this whole scenario, right, and what they're going for and what they're trying to do with AI is they're also using a lot of buzzwords, right? Because you got to tell the investors, hey, this is what we're doing. Hey, trust us, AI. But at some point, they want you to pay up and be like, well, did it work or not? Like, show us the results. And once they see the results, they're gonna be like, oh, this didn't work. Why'd you do it? It's like, well, you made us do it, right? Like,
yeah. Typical capitalism, right?
Yeah. Like perpetual growth. Remember, the bar's always got to move up no matter what.
Yep.
And AI is the latest trend that everybody's going to use. So, man,
That is, it'll collapse in itself.
Hope so.
No, you watch that Scarlett Johansson lawsuit is going to be very interesting because if she wins that, AI's done.
And that's the thing, right? How many artists and others have been like, hey, don't do that. Don't do that. And AI is just like, even the government's like, no, it's cool. They can steal your artwork. But the moment it starts to impact the bottom line of the celebrities, right? That's when it's a step too far. And unless they can be a part of it, which is, again, it's such a weird scenario. I
know we said it last year as well. The second the studio does it, AI's dead.
Yep, exactly.
Because one studio is going to use copyright from another one.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which one it is that someone's going to sue another one.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to see what nuclear war looks like in Hollywood, that's going to be what it looks like.
Yeah, it's going to be something. So we're going to find out more about AI in the next year, because it's kind of becoming like a thing that everybody's talking about, every industry. And we'll get back to it when it's time. But I'm assuming this is going to hit some sort of brick wall sooner rather than later.
Technically, it already did when Sony put words in Neil Druckmann's mouth about AI, and it wasn't good.
Yeah, but Neil Druckmann's a kin idiot anyway.
Yeah, it's like, but he'd rather be one that he actually said the things he said. So.
True. But then again, this is the guy whose original idea for The Last of Us was this infection only affects women. We're going to have a 40-hour game where you just beat the crap and kill women.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Took the studio ages to
suddenly the incels have a new game of the year, and it's from Neil Druckmann, huh? Amazing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He's not the smartest man. So I'd be very surprised if Sony actually altered anything he said.
Well, they redacted, so
but that doesn't mean that he didn't say.
Is that you may say something else dumb, but that wasn't that.
I wouldn't be surprised if they asked an AI to get him out of this situation. That's what it spat out.
That's what it spat out. Yeah. AI interviews are about to start being conducted.
Oh god.
Revolution is coming, boys. So I guess that's it. That's gonna bring us to the end of this whole podcast and everything we've done here. So
I mean,
everything really? No more?
Huh? No more. That's it. There's 6 topics. Look at that.
What, the last 6 topics ever?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
This is officially it. Next week, I'm just replacing all 3 of us with AI and Sean. But the twist is it's going to be the real Sean, so he's not going to know he's talking to AIs, and that's it.
That'd be funny, actually.
Sean just comes in here. So, Bojangles.
It's been 12 years.
Oh man, it's good. Good times.
Yeah. Oh well. This is. I don't know if this is the end of the show, but I don't know if people want Silent Hill 2 because it looks kind of bad.
I want it.
Of course you want it. You're a weeb. No.
I am a Silent Hill weeb, so
especially with
you're a Capcom weeb.
They kind of technically, well, with the visually, they almost ruined the character because they overcorrected on a 90s aesthetic.
I saw stuff about that on Twitter. And I'm like, people saying it's like an overcorrection. Like it doesn't look anything really different. It's just it's different clothes, obviously, but it's still in that same vein.
Not really, because I'm looking.
She still looks like she's about to go clubbing and just like
because I'm looking at it. Because I'm looking at it, and a lot of like female players are kind of like raising an eyebrow about what they're actually trying to go for.
I mean, there is an argument with that as well. Like that's totally fair.
I mean, she's also supposed to look like that because it's in the story of why she's supposed to look scandally. So like I don't want to get into that, but there's an actual story reason. So
and it's like well, one of the funny ones is like I don't know if anyone noticed, but some people do like wearing leopard print.
There's a very real conversation to be had about men in the games industry overcorrecting themselves, and there's a very simple solution for all of it.
Yeah,
it's just get a woman in the dev team.
Woke.
Difficult. This game's gone woke because XYZ, and you can't see tit. Well, guess what? Just get a woman in there, and
True story.
Guess he's probably going to want to see some titty. No, done.
And that's how we tied it back around to Sydney Sweeney to end this podcast. Boom! Look at that.
Gone full circles.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us, everybody, for another podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll see you all next week.
Didn't.
You probably didn't. But hey,
I
next
know
week
I
you might, as this podcast will be hosted by Ben, Ryan, and Sean. See you later, everybody.
What about Lance?
Lance is coming back.
This is that one person who's like, who the hell is Lance?
Coming back, everybody. See you next week for that reunion.